evening and Jai Hind. I am Major Mohammed Ali Shah. I'm going to be in conversation with a person with a very proud travel from Manipur who's very popular there. In fact, a lot of people listen to him. In fact, the former MP of Manipur, Kim Gangte's nephew, Jacob Gangte, he introduced me to Dr.TS Haokip, and I was very happy when I heard him talk about peace, talk about the way forward, talking about dialogue, talking about one should always indulge in peace. So I thought, let me go ahead and converse with him, and let's welcome him further, and let's ask him what he could think is the way forward to bring about peace in a beautiful state with beautiful people. Manipur, as we all know, the land of the jewel. Dr. Haokip, Jai Hind, and good evening to you.
Jai Hind and welcome to Saji.
Thank you, Dr. Haokip. Dr. Haokip, what, according to you, could be the way forward to bring about peace in Manipur, which has already been disturbed so badly?
Uh, First of all, I'm really very thankful to get an invitation regarding the subject. And what I would like to say before the subject, I would just like to introduce myself just for kind
Yes,
information
yes, please.
for, for our audience.
Yes, please.
I am Dr.TS Haokip, founding president of this World Kuki-Zo Intellectual Council, which was founded under uh, my initiation, cooperated with some members on the 14th of May 2023, after more than 10 days of the current war that erupted suddenly last year in the state of Manipur. And regarding the question, what I would like to highlight is that the way forward to bring peace in Manipur is something like a patient that doctors have to diagnose the sickness to give prescription. Like that way, the current any conflict has been a political issue. So to suggest or to bring peace and normalcy in the state, the political foundation or the political history, the backdrop, or the reasons that we have to diagnose first. As far as Manipur is concerned, you know, categorically, there are three Ani groups: majority Meitei, Kuki, and Naga tribal communities residing in the state of Manipur. These three groups have been uh, fighting for their own separate political uh, movement. And here, what I like to put forward is, as I have said, since the current any conflict is based on politics, some political history needs to be highlighted. Regarding that one, what I would like to put forward is that as of now, there are 28 states in India. We have 28 states in India as well as 8 union territories. But here, in none of the UT or in none of the states, there is no such as inner Maharashtra or outer Maharashtra, or inner Bihar or outer Bihar. Whereas why is there in Manipur as inner Manipur and outer Manipur? There is a very deep political uh, mystery behind it there since British era. To shorten it, to put up
Just
in a
for our
nutshell.
viewers to understand, just could you
Yeah.
explain something what you mentioned about outer Manipur for our viewers to understand that.
Yeah. To clarify the reason of outer Manipur and inner Manipur, some historical background I will highlight very briefly. See, during the British regime, the first time British came into Manipur, they were demanding for 50,000 labor corps to go to
No, but
France.
so my question to you is, you mean to say Manipur is known as inner Manipur and outer Manipur? For our viewers to understand,
Yeah.
I'm asking you. Yes?
To understand, to clarify that once, some a few explanation is needed. As I said, during the British imperial regime, uh, so many tribal groups, tribal communities send their labor corps to France at the, at the order of the British Empire. Whereas the cookies revolted against the British Empire. So the British, as a punishment, left behind the outer Manipur, which they documented as Cookie Hills, whereas they had given a special provision such as Naga Hills, Lushai Hills, Chin Hills, uh, Garoghasi Hills, which were all later in the independent era became as states, whereas the Cookie Hills that was documented by the British themselves is left behind, and it is neglected till today. And what I would like to put forward is that because of that reason only, in Manipur, a political what to say classification such as outer Manipur and inner Manipur existed even till today. This is the
No,
point. What I
but
would like
who
to.
uses this? Is it recognized by the government of India? What you're talking about, this outer Manipur, inner Manipur?
Yeah, there are you can see in the upcoming parliamentary MP election also. And for the last, since statehood, outer Manipur parliamentary constituency, there is inner Manipur parliamentary
No.
constituency, and as well as outer
Are
Manipur
you giving, are you
parliamentary
talking
constituency.
this officially or unofficially? Because
Oh,
I, huh,
it is one recognized by the Election Commission of India, timing the constituency as inner Manipur and outer Manipur. That is the one recognition of the recognition given by the Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India means Government of India. Yes, sir. So to bring peace and normalcy, as I have said, uh, this since the problem is taking place because of politics, it has to be solved amicably in terms of politics. Unless the issue is solved politically, I think uh, to bring a peace in the state of Manipur may be what to say, maybe not an easy task for the state of for the authorities. See, for example, government of India may subside the situation, the any violence in terms of security. However, the attitude and the mindset of the people. See, the current conflict between majority Meitei and Kuki communities has been so wide that it is completely full of hatred, unlike other any misunderstanding. See, for example, the last 30 decades, any conflict between tribal fellows, Nagas and Kukis, it was not that much hatred. It was only a sort of political misunderstanding between territories, and but the people only in the war zone areas, they were fighting and whereas they are not fighting in other places, but in the current misunderstanding between majority Metis and Kuki-Zo communities, the hatred is so wide, it is well known, uh, what to say, hatred, uh, discrimination, social discrimination. So I think it, unless it is solved politically, these two communities may not be able to stay peacefully. That's my point, sir.
Right. So I liked your analogy when you said about a doctor and a patient. A doctor has to first analyze a patient, and then
Yeah,
only if he knows. Like I remember, I was on a TV panel with a very illustrious general officer, General Sudhakarji, and he gave an analogy that for to solve any problem, first we have to analyze what the problem is. Like a
yeah,
doctor first should
yeah,
know what the ailment is, what the sickness
yeah,
is. Only then
yeah,
the
yeah,
doctor can prescribe some medicine and some cure.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
what is the remedy, the cure, the solution that you think could come in place to resolve this Manipur crisis, sir?
Yeah, to to go straight forward, the government of India has been in continuous talks with the cookie groups, militants under the umbrella of KNO and UPF. They have been talking, having a suspension of operation for the last 19 years, and recently, last year, on the 31st August to 2nd September 2023, they have reached to a final agreement for union territory with legislature on Pondicherry pattern, and that is within the constitution of India. And if this is materialized, I think the Kuki-Zo people and the Kuki-Zo citizens will be grateful, as well as they will be safeguarded under the Constitution of India, and no other stronger community or no other larger community may not be able to uh, harass them or subjugated them politically or deprived them economically, and not longer discriminated them socially under a separate administration in the form of UT as per the agreement of last August 2023, sir.
Okay. So tell us about the this organization which you mentioned about, the World Kuki-Zo Intellectual Council, which you mentioned just now, that you have been the founder and the president of this organization.
Yeah, regarding the organization, see, we were unprepared, Suddenly, on the 3rd of March 2023, during the solidarity march, tribal solidarity march by Aksum, it went out of proportion. And when the Anglo-Kuki War Centenary Gate was burned down there in Churachandpur, uh, the the problem, the killing, the ultion, and the tech goes on, and it continues till today. So, regarding the matter, we the intellectuals, as I have mentioned already to some other leaders, all our CSOs, all CSOs are busy. They are running pillar to post for relief materials, for evacuation of our people, those who are stranded in the Imphal Valley, and for giving relief centers, for giving this fooding and everything. No CSO leader, no CSO was free to what to say, to highlight the problems, the situations, the vulnerable condition of our people to the international community and to the nation. So this council was initiated as a pressure group. World Kuki-Zo Intellectual Council is a pressure group. It is not a CSO, a, a council of dedicated nationalists, intellectuals to work wherever to fill up the gap wherever there is, apart from uh, the responsibilities undertaken by our CSOs. That's all, sir. And also, one I would like to what add more is that we have been fragmented. We have been known into different names such as Chin, Kuki, Mizo, Zomi, but so many, we were so fragmented. What is the reason behind it? Since British era, since our forefathers were defending their ancestral land, which is now trifurcated into a part of Bangladesh and a part of present Myanmar, Burma, and northeastern states, including uh, Mizoram and Manipur and some other northeastern states, we were so fragmented. And not only that one, we have been enduring this type of persecution for the last, we have already 5 times. The Kuki people have endured 5 times this type of persecutions in India since First World War. During First World War, 3 years. Second World War under Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Then again in 1960s, we endured Cold War. During Cold War, 39 of our leaders were assassinated within 12, 13 years. Plus, 46 of our villages were uprooted by hostile insurgent groups, from larger community. Then again in 1990s, we have endured the same. While more than 1,150 innocent cookies were murdered, were killed in cold-blooded, and more than 360 villages were uprooted. So we are so fragmented. We have been enduring all this in India. To be very frank and honest, I have the guts to say that cookies were the lovers of India. Our forefathers have been fighting for defending India. But it is a surprise why government of India is pretending as not knowing the contribution of the cookies. The freedom fighter community has been enduring all these type of persecutions 5 times in India. So it is a time for the government of India to do something to protect this freedom fighter community, or else what will be the situation of condition, the vulnerability of these people? Uh, as I said, because of all these reasons, especially rebelling against the British Empire, in whose empire the sun never set, since our forefathers were uh, revolting for continuous 3 years, they have separated us. Again, after independence, during independent era, government of India continued uh, to divide us again into tribes. It was since up to 1951. There in Manipur, only 3 communities were there: Meitei, any Naga, any Kuki. But it was in 1956 that so many tribes were recognized, and we, the Kukis, were further disintegrated. And today we are known as the different people in the name of different nomenclatures, such as Chin, Kuki, Mizo, Zomi, Mara, so many. But the intellectuals to bring together all these ethnic groups, all these blood-related ethnic groups having same culture, same dialect, same tradition, to bring them together. Again, these people, we have been founding this World Kuki-Zo Intellectual Council, especially Kuki-Zo Intellectual Council. Kuki is our political identity, and Zo is our social identity, propounded by myself as a scholar, as a nationalist, as a reformist, and as an activist. We have been we coined together these two words to bring together all these blood groups into one form. That's all, sir.
So I also want to ask you that do you think that dialogue is the only way forward when you sit on a table and you talk face to face and you come across that is the only way to actually bring out peace? Do you agree with me on that?
With whom? Who and who to talk face to face?
In general, in any atmosphere for peace to
Uh-huh.
prevail, be it anywhere,
Yeah.
for peace to prevail, dialogue should be the only way forward for peace. Would you agree with me
Yeah.
on that?
Yeah. 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 Peace is a must. Peace
So
is a must.
peace is a must, but
Yeah.
dialogue, understanding, communication to
Yeah.
keep the
Yeah.
channel
Give and
flowing.
take. Give and take has to be met. Unless give and take is met, uh, misunderstandings cannot be settled. So, whether it is politically or socially, dialogue is a must. Dialogue is a
Very
must.
well.
Even before the outbreak of the current conflict, I had been persuading some leaders. I have been persuading some uh, Breathe Matter leaders and Cookie leaders to sit together. Otherwise, once the conflict broke out, both parties, both communities will suffer. That was my suggestion. Yeah. So it's right time for the government of India to arrange a political dialogue as per the agreement with the KNOUPF at one side, as well as at the social level between our leaders to give and take. One point what I would like to put forward is that as per one tribal MLA, right now I have forgotten his name, the the funds allocated by the central government for Manipur has been misused. Only very few percent used to reach the hills. That was the a grievance of the tribals as a whole, both Nagas and Cookies. Then apart from that, here in Manipur, right now we have 60 MLA seats, 60, 60. Out of these, our Britain Métis are occupying 40 seats, whereas 19 plus 1 is reserved for the hill tribes. So, to bring peace, to bring a real peace, economically or politically, whatever it may be, it has to be made on a give and take policy. Yeah, the person whom I mentioned was Emily Artul from Ukrul, yeah, Ukrul AC. He has put forward the mismanagement of this
Thankful
state.
gentlemen.
Yeah, yeah,
Thankful gentlemen.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. So, and who all do you think could be a good mediator for peace? Like, who could bridge the gap? Because the gap I've seen has unfortunately and very sadly been there's a very solid divide and very solid trust deficit between the Maitis and Cookies. And mind you, sir, because I have friends who are Maitis as well, I have friends who are Cookies as well, I have friends who are Nagas as well. And
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
best friends My best friends are from the northeast part of India, actually, who I really trust completely, and who've been very nice and kind to me always. So I have been trying my best to bridge the gap and try to be a peacemaker from whatever little bit I can contribute, for whatever worth two pennies it is. But according to you, who and how do you think could be the parties involved in a peace process, sir?
Yeah, the most worker and the most legitimate authority is government of India, I suppose, because like whenever there is a conflict in the family between children, parents have the vital role to play. Parents can call together their children and tell that you are doing this and you should not do this, he should do this, and this should be your share, this should be your share, you have to do so. Likewise, even at the community level or state level, I think the most appropriate authority is the government of India to call together both the communities and make them understand and equally given them their legitimate rights. That will be the most effective medium, I suppose.
Right. So why do people say that, people don't have much knowledge, unfortunately, about the northeast part of India?
Yeah.
Why? Why? What, according to you, could that be the reason? Why is it that they are not very well aware? Many people in general. And I don't know if my passion and my love for the northeast part of India is visible to you, but it's certainly, I have a lot of love for the northeast part of India. So why is it that people are not very familiar or not very well aware about the northeast part of India, sir?
According to my observation, you know, our looks are a bit different from the mainland India. The second one on religious matter. Most of the Northeast Indians, we embrace Christianity. And apart from that, the way of life, the culture, everything is very distinct from the mainland India. This might be the reason. But I know a person, a noble-hearted person like you and so many leaders, they have great love for the Northeast India. Whereas the majority is very ignorant about even highly educated educationists, some educationists, political leaders, even most of our Indian political leaders, political parties, and educated, many are not aware of even the existence of Northeast India. So even I myself have come across many times whenever I came to Delhi or some other metro cities. Sometimes I tag as a Nepali or sometimes as a Chinese. But what I would like to request my fellow Indian citizens is India is a diverse nation with diverse culture, like a like a flower garden with varieties of colors blooming together, making India a beautiful nation. So it will be appreciated much if all Indians, if not at all the illiterates are not aware, at least all the educated Indians must also know about the Northeast and also consider as uh, Northeast people as Indians. You know how much we love India. We look alike, the Chinese people, I look like a Burmese people, but we never prefer to be a Burmese or to join Burma or China. But still, we cling steadfast to India. However, why we are considered something like a state son or a state daughter. So I think all the leaders of government of India and all Indian citizens must accept this attitude of the Northeast India. Consider India as your own people, or else a time may come that if we are continuously alienated socially or in terms of in all the fields, youngsters may have the other opinion to to go with some other groups also. So I personally, I too am a lover of India. My forefathers have been joining in INA and the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Still, we love India. And the Kuki people never demanded something that is beyond constitution of India. UT or state, it's a very silly matter. See, sir, while there are usually in India, all states are created on, on uh, what to say, community based creation of states. So, if India is truly caring about its freedom fighter community, at least it is the right time for India, government of India, to do something to protect and defend these people. Otherwise, we are all somehow like the Jews who were persecuted during 1930s and 40s. But more than the Jews, we have been enduring all this. See, now, our in our own land, who confront the British to defend India. The revolt of 1857 has been functional. It was active from Meerut to Delhi, measuring about 44 square kilometers, square miles, whereas the Anglo-Kuki War or the Kuki Rising or the Kuki Rebellion, see, it was documented by the British themselves that it was 3 years. But even this is also neglected by the Indian historians. It is just termed as Kuki Rebellion, and it is not given importance. So I think it is the right time for the government of India to give attention to these vanishing people. Otherwise, this community having no option, a time may come that it may be what to say, it may be losing its confidence, love and uh, emotional attachment to our nation. So let the government of India and let all the citizens of India do something to protect this vanishing, these uh, assimilated, politically subjugated, economically deprived Kuki people to have their own provision of administration, so that no larger community or no larger uh, stronger community continue to suppress them and try to take away their land. Some people are saying cookies are having war every time. The the war which were raised upon the Kuki people are basically on land issue only. We have lots of land since land holding documents we have since British era. Then even in independent India, we have lots of land, but you know, most of the wars, most of the conflicts that took upon us is only because of the land, our land. So government of India must understand this and fulfill its agreement, final agreement with our this KNO UPF at the earliest, so that automatically peace will be restored in Manipur, and Britain, Meiteis, and Kukis will continue to stay side by side peacefully as good neighbors. They have been almost in close contact, in Manipur as a whole. Meiteis in the center, whereas the Kuki is in the outer second layer of the so-called outer Manipur, and breed the Nagas at the outer third layer of the uh, state towards the north, and the Kuki groups towards the south. Yes,
Right.
sir. Yeah,
You mentioned also, when I asked you why people are not really aware what you think about the northeast part of India, you said because most of us are Christians and the Cookies are
yeah,
Christians and Nagas are Christians. So,
yeah,
but
yeah,
at the same time, and I have spent time over there as ADC to the corps commander to the GOC spec corps, then to the with the Assam Rifles. And after hanging up my uniform, I used to often frequent northeast part of India. So even among Christianity, sir, the customs are very different. Like there would be a lot of difference between a Naga church and a Cookie church, or a regular Christian church in Delhi and a Cookie church. For example, in a Cookie church, please correct me if I'm wrong, they can be sacrifices, they can be offering of fruits and vegetables, they can
yeah,
be
sure.
dances in a Cookie church.
Yeah,
Like for example, even in a Mizo church, it's almost the same. You can say in
yeah,
Naga church, we will not find that custom.
yeah.
In a regular
No,
church in Delhi, say for example, I'll give a fictitious name, Mr. Thomas Matthew, or they would not be practicing, but it's the at the end of the day, I personally feel that's my belief that our mainstream media and the people we have neglected
yeah,
the knowledge, because I think northern part of India has contributed a great deal in nation building.
yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah,
The best of sportsmen, best of sportsmen from the entire northeast part of India, not just Manipur or Nagaland or Mizoram.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, or from इनकी तो बात in like the Garos, Khasis, Jaintias of Meghalaya beat the Ao, the Namis, Chang, Chakisang, Semma, Lotha, Konyak, Rengma of Nagaland, so many tribes.
yeah,
So, I mean, the kind of contribution northern part of India has had, that's why I take a lot of interest. And I make no bones about it. I literally wear northeast part of India on my sleeves. Literally. And I make no bones about it
yeah,
that I love you all. I love people from northeast part of India. Whenever I go in a shopping mall or the airport or somewhere, and I find somebody from northeast part of India, I recognize the person by the features and then by the name. And then I know I speak a few dialects as well. Okay. So I speak to them in their dialect. So they're like quite surprised. So thank you very much, sir. I truly appreciate you taking your time. And before we part ways, and before I let you go, any last message from your end you would like to throw to the universe, sir?
yeah. Thank you so much once again. Uh, it is my earnest appeal to the international community, and particularly to my fellow Indian citizens, to consider Northeast India as its own people. Secondly, let our secularism enshrined in the Constitution of India be regarded so as to make our nation stay and become as the most powerful democratic country in the world in the time to come, when all these various ethnic groups stand together, whether he be a Muslim or be a Sikh or be a Christian or a Hindu. Let the Constitution of India, secularism, be steadfastly regarded by each and every citizen, so that we can continue to, to flourish, to bloom beautifully in this nation. And lastly, I once again appeal to the government of India, Pu Modi ji and Pu Amit Shah and all Indian leaders, to uh, to materialize the long pending, long cherished dream of the Cookies for a separate statehood, which had been started way back in 1946 to 47 till it goes on continuously for the last 75 years. It will be a shameful for our leaders to continue to reject its freedom fighter community whose legitimate demands within the constitution of India has been continuously denied and ignored. Then, as I said, when now many youngsters are of the opinion, to join, some are of the opinion to even join socialists, because democracy has no value in India. India being the largest democratic country in the world, as well as the icon of democracy, it has to uh, continue to safeguard democratic ideologies, giving equal rights to each and every community all over Indian territory, to let all its citizens, whether majority or minority, to live together peacefully to make India a great nation. That's all, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. It was wonderful speaking to you. And thank you very much for taking your time. And God bless you and your family and everyone. And do convey my regards to everyone. And tell people of Manipur that I love them. I truly love them.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
very
We
much.
too love you, sir. We too love you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Jai
Thank you,
Hind,
sir.
sir.
Jai Hind.